Welcome back. Law and justice. Law and justice. Extreme sports. Law and justice. Extreme sports. Law and justice. Extreme sports. Vikings. Law and justice. Credits. Welcome back. Tables. Law and justice. Extreme sports. Law and justice.
Hello everyone and welcome to Randomised Gaming's True Pinball Streams. Apologies, I've just realised I have been my mic has not been switched on for the past 5 minutes. That is a classic noob mistake by me. So I am your host, Random Gamer Riven, for today's video, and of course this is Randomised Gaming. And in today's video we will be doing true pinballs, better known as digital pinballs. Let me do that again. It was true pinballs, better known as Pinball Illusions on the home computers. So this is the 1996 console port of Pinball Illusions. It was originally released on the Amiga and various home computers. Now, this is the Law and Justice table. There are actually 4 tables. The original Amiga's version only actually had 3. It didn't have Vikings, which was added in later. And it was published by Ocean in the Western market, and it was published by Gaga Communications in the Japanese market. And we're playing the Japanese version, and I'm just actually seeing how the Japanese version handles compared to the PAL version. We've previously done the PAL version on the channel, but I think the Japanese version is feeling just, well, I think it's one of those games that was properly optimized for PAL, but you're just getting the advantage of the screen. But I'm just interested to see if this might be running a touch too fast at 60 Hz. Although DICE are an extremely, or Digital Illusions as they were known back then, are an extremely good developer. So now I have to admit, of the 4 tables, this is my least favourite. So there are 2 modes. You get the 3D high res mode, and you get the standard sort of top view. That's the classic view from the previous Pinball FX, well, not Pinball FX, digital Pinball Dreams and Pinball Fantasies. I'm a little bit tired, so I'm getting my stuff muddled up. Let's see if I can actually get. Basically, the aim of this pinball is to track down the villains. So each of the pinball has the objectives, complete all the objectives, and you get into sort of the high scoring jackpot modes, etc. Now, DICE were actually very, very good as pinball developers. They did some really, really good games, and they were well ahead of their time. So although these aren't genuine pinballs, they do play really well. Their games really were cutting edge. When Pinball Dreams released, it was groundbreaking. Because up until then, I think most pinball simulators had been a bit naff. These days you have Zen Pinball and you have Pinball Arcade, which are by far some of the best ones in modern, and they're probably better than this series, but there's still no doubting this game is still very, very highly playable. The tables are fairly fair as well, so you're not having your ball shot down the middle every shot. You can nudge as well, although I'm only using nudges sparingly. Nudges are a bit weird. A lot of pinball arcade games include them as a feature, but you'll actually find they were only actually ever doable on early pinball games. These cases, most nudge sensors are usually set to the top, so the minute you even touch the thing, it will go nudge, 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 and just lock you down. So although there are quite a few nudge tactics for advanced players, that was a terrible ball. In a lot of games, you can't actually use those advanced tactics.
Congratulations to you. High score.
Right, let's give that another whirl. I'll try to split my time between all the tables. I'll probably swap over the views as well, just to give you a mix. Let's see if we can do a bit better. Although this, as I said, is my least favourite of all the pinball tables on the game. Of all of them, I think this is probably the most, there's too many times where the ball can just go straight into the outlane without any warning. Oh. No, yeah, you see what I mean about... I should be nudging a bit more, trying to salvage, but you see what I mean. This one can be a bit merciless at times. despite me saying about that, oh yeah, usually they're pretty good. Yeah, this one is that left one is really bad. That left outline is really bad for eating the ball. The other thing Digital Illusions were not really well known for back then, especially when they were called the Silence, although I'm not entirely sure if they were brought up by DICE or whether the Silence became them. Basically, this is the music. The music for this is absolutely fantastic, as you can hear it. It really is good. It's just so well done. Not the best run on this table. I think I'll jump to the next one, seeing as we've only got about 10 minutes a table. Thank you for your like, viewers, and welcome. I'll be going through all the tables tonight, so I'm just annoyed. I figured the first 5 minutes of this, or first 6 or 7 minutes, I had my mic switched off, so I suddenly noticed like, ooh. But as you can see, there's some lovely animated graphics as well. Law and Justice. This one actually reminds me a bit of the Judge Dredd from the 90s, so I don't know if it's loosely inspired by that. Oh, I actually want to press X to stop. That music's just fantastic. If you ever get a chance, just listen to the soundtrack. There's some really good... The Silence and back with when they came DICE, fantastic music. Although, as I said, I'm not entirely sure if...
Welcome to main menu.
The Silence sort of merged with DICE, or whether it actually became them. There's not huge. When I was trying to actually find some history on the Silence a little while back, it wasn't that clear how they became DICE. Whether they just renamed themselves or whether they're actually like bought up or something. So I'm actually going to swap to the alternative views to just show you the differences. You know, actually, I will quickly redo Law and Justice just to show you Law and Justice when you change the viewpoint, so just so you can see, because it does actually change. Now I do prefer the 3D viewpoint, the high res versions, although I'm pretty certain it does reduce the frame rate slightly. But here we go with the classic Pinball Dreams, Pinball Fantasy viewpoint. So this is top down. Oh, I pressed X twice. Yeah, pressing X twice, I will quit out of the thing. So,
Welcome to main menu. Please choose disable.
You know, I'll jump to Babe Watch, seeing as you briefly saw it scroll down, and then I inadvertently select it. So I'll jump to Babe Watch. Right, don't press X, Riven, unless you need to. I'll do one game on 2D and then I'll jump to 3D again. I do prefer the 3D on all the tables. I think I prefer the 3D just for the camera angles, but it's worth seeing because some fans may want to see the sort of classic view of these tables. Each of the tables are really well themed. I suppose the problem with the 2D view is you can't always see the shots that clearly, but it is the iconic game playing view of the Pinball Dreams series. So. I'm even playing this now so long. I mean, I've played it relatively recently. It's still such a very, very good... It's just such a smooth pinball game. What I could do is get my kick... Oh, that kickback is active, so... Oh. Just missed out on that one. I'm not. This is probably of all the themes. Although I quite like the playing of this one, I don't like the theme that much. The sort of Beach Babe ones, it's a bit bland. I mean, it's clearly a play on Baywatch. The classic David Hasselhoff TV swimsuit. So, oh. Now that's the thing with this one. The top view, it can be a little bit tricky to see some of those shots. I do prefer the 3D view for actually making the shots. I'm just actually going to swap back to the 3D view now to re-show. So we've got about 15 minutes of table, so...
Welcome to main menu. Please choose desired function. Options. Welcome back. Law and justice. Tables. Law and justice.
Keep remembering to hit. I'm just going to go with start button because if you press, it's weird. Some of the buttons go back, some go forward, but B is not back. Usually, most games use the Saturn use B as the back button, like A and C is forward on menus. This does not do that. So here we go with the 3D version of Baywatch. So you can instantly see how it affects the changing, because you can now see all the ramps a lot easier in the under thing with the casino wheel and the roulette wheel with the gambling element, so you can see that everything goes underneath it and around it. So although I think some people will prefer the top view, I think I prefer the 3D one, not least because it's easier to shoot. Although again, like that, some shots are actually slightly so. That one there, we're actually watching the three numbers as the ball moves around slightly harder, so we can get the race. This view does completely change the mechanics of the game slightly. It does feel like you have to take slightly different pinball shots. So that was a better run. Yeah, just concentrating there for a second. Certainly, pinball games do require your concentration to make sure you get the right parts of the shots to hit the various different parts of the ramps. So it's actually pretty good. You generally get a feeling, so tips will get you. So like that one there, I need to remember the nudges. Tips will get you towards the edges. There are a few brutal shots again in this one. I think of all the tables, Vikings is probably my most personal favourite one. That's really the one I like the most. So if I can get to the ramp there. Ooh, baseball cap. Ah! Now that one fired that straight down the middle. Shall I finish there? Let's play a 2-ball 3. Got half an hour left, so I'll jump to another one.
Welcome to main menu. Please choose desired function, tables, law and justice, extreme sports.
I'll do Vikings last because that's the that's my most popular one. So that one I'm by far the best at. You do need to learn. Pinball's actually weirdly a game I never used to really appreciate. Once you actually play it enough, you'll understand how difficult it can be to master the tables, to learn the shots, and to actually really get everything down. And this is actually a really good pinball game for that, because you do have to master it. Hence why my performances haven't been that great, because you've really got to master every shot, know the angles, and the speed of the ball as well. The speed does affect how the shot will angle. There are certain speeds will mean you can hit it up certain ramps. Certain speeds will mean you can hit it with the lower part of the flipper instead of the tips. Other times you need to hit it with the tips. Some shots can't be made at certain ball speeds. And sometimes the ball will just find make its way to the exit regardless of what you do. So this is extreme sports. This I think it's probably my second favourite of all the tables. Again, this one's quite a tough one. I definitely really do like Vikings the most. Vikings is definitely my most favourite one. Okay, there we have a tunnel combo. Although I have to admit, I don't like the tables in this as much as, say, Pinball Dreams and Pinball Fantasies. That jingle is actually very similar to one from Pinball Fantasies, I think.
You were lucky this time.
Let's go straight AAA. Let's try that again. So that one's, let's just get up that one. Also, that's right at the back. Got a nice little combo there going. Okay. So we can actually play some decent pinball. Dragoon is actually, of the randomised gaming team, Dragoon is by far the better pinball player. He's the one that's actually finished the vast majority of Pinball Arcade, Zen Pinball. He's done an awful lot of the tables. I'm not the strongest of the pinball players. But you have to put up with me as I'm the only one doing daily streams, unfortunately. At least during the weekdays. Dragoon usually will do the Friday ones, so. I think this may actually have, it's got like a score bonus if you hit it quick enough. Hitting the ramps multiple times you will get, we've got Tunnel Million there. You actually get, basically this one, the premise is to get the, actually spill out the word extreme sports by doing all the extreme sports in questions. It's actually quite a tricky one. Oh. Well, that's thankfully for the safety there. Okay, so I've actually got mode 6 selected. I'm just trying to figure out which of the ramps are going to have to hit to trigger it. Was it the add button? Because one of them triggers the modes and then you have to do the game attached to it. Okay. Speed. Okay, 3 more for speed. Let's see if I can get extra. Oh, is that an extra ball? I've actually got a few of the... I've actually got quite a bit of extreme lit up now, so that's not too bad. This one's actually turning out to be a better to go than... all the other, right, so let's go up. Oh yes, that's the right. This one. I actually want to enable a mode. So start mode. Yes. So basically, you've got to actually win all the different modes in this. So let's see if I can actually start a mode for once. Oh yes.
Let's do some off-pist and go for the wipeout.
Held a jackpot off-pist. So I think I've got to hit all the red arrows for this one with off-pist to go for the jackpot. So let's see if I can actually get some without putting this everything in. Okay, that's one. Duffy, how many more can I get? I think you've got to hit all of them. Oh, I've got the 2 up there to hit as well. It's going to be tricky. Ah!
You were lucky this time.
Let's give it another whirl, ladies and gentlemen. More for speed. Yeah, that ramp there you do need to hit some speed, so if you don't hit it with speed it will not go up it. That's probably actually the hardest ramp in the game, I seem to recall hitting. One of the reasons I like Viking so much is that's got a really good sense of humour when we come to it, so... see if I can...
Now let's do some serious diving.
Oh, diving. Ah, now what have I got hit with that? I've got to go up the big lane. Let's see if I can do that. So I say that that's the hardest lane to actually hit. Oh!
Now let's build some speed.
Yes! Okay, so I'm going to dive again. No, you really need to hit that ramp at speed to get it up the diving ramp. That's, as I mentioned, that's one of the hardest shots in the game. Come on. So we can get up there before the timer runs out. 5 seconds. One last shot. Oh! Oh! That was a good ball. That was a good ball. That was me. Now you can unlock extra balls like most pinballs, but as always, they're always quite tricky, so you won't be unlocking them for doing easy manoeuvres. Strangely, quite a few of the actual pinball games, it's actually quite easy to unlock extra rules on. So this isn't as good as, say, some of the modern pinball games I mentioned. Pinball Arcade, which we have covered briefly on the channel, is a really fantastic pinball set, as is Zen Pinball. Zen Pinball's probably slightly better in terms of feel. Pinball Arcade tried to reduce accuracy, but sometimes the quality wasn't quite there. They were good, but sometimes there were just one or two things off with them. Now, one of the golden rules of pinball, a couple people have said that you will always get at least one duff ball. Now, you'll notice I have actually cleared one of the modes, so one of the modes is lit up. This one's a sort of classic style. You need to clear all the modes, and then I believe it's like the final Uber jackpot mode occurs. And then usually you do that, and then the whole thing starts over again. So should nudge that. Are we around 10 past 10? I'll jump to Vikings.
You were lucky.
Though I guarantee we'll cover all 4 in the streams, and I might jump around a bit at the end of the stream. So Vikings, as I mentioned, is probably my favourite of the 4 tables. It's got a huge amount of humour in it.
Law and Justice, Extreme Outdoors.
So it has a very much an animated comic book style of humour. The mini games are really good fun. It's got some great designs. Probably it feels like the one table that they perhaps, because they did it after, I'm wondering whether they spent a bit more time on it, whether it was just an exclusive for the platform. As it was in the original, it was in the DOS versions. I can't remember if it was in one like the A1200 version, and not the A500 version, or if it was just DOS only. You hear that sort of merry music with them all singing away in the background. So this one's relatively simple. You've got your top, just pause it there, you've got that red latch there on the right. The far right, you've got the mountain and the helmet area. So it's not actually, this one's quite, so basically you go around that red loop there, and that's actually an easy loop to put it around. You can also get it into the helmet. See if I could backflip it. Oh yes, that one's another hard shot to get up that ramp. You've got a little trapdoor there as well. And again, if you hit that other one, it sort of jettisons it round. So this one, as you can see, this one is definitely my most favourite of all the tables. That right buffer's probably actually the worst in this one. This is actually, although I haven't actually finished any of them, so basically that rock in the centre there was actually where the mini game starts. So I seem to recall you've got to hit, and then I think that changes the region, that blue. Yeah, you get a bonus, I think, seem to recall, if you keep hitting the blue ones. Oh! The ball just keeps going out at the minute. I'm not having a good run at all. My first, one of my first runs on Vikings, I spent like an hour and a half playing it. The ball just would not go out. Sometimes you get that where the ball just won't go out. Other times you will literally get it where the... Oh, and that was the start mode bonus. So I think this has some of them have a quick start bonus if you do make the skill shots right at the start. See if I can get it this time. Okay, yes, this is the Iceland, so I've got shoot ramps to run away. Now this one we've really got the fun. Surprised I'm going to dodge the bear. Come on, I've got to hit that ramp. I think I've got to hit that far end ramp as well. I think I'm going to have enough time. Yeah, I didn't clear it. If you clear it, you get it. It tells you which of the games you cleared. Alright, let's try it again. Again, you've got some really cheery, jolly sort of... jolly sort of happy music, so... Yeah, there's also like the hidden rocks behind that top flippers. Oh! I really need to start using nudges more. I'm just not a fan of nudges because real pinballs, you can't use them in sort of modern real pinballs, so... Unless they're turned right the way down, because usually the center, the amount of times I've tried nudging in bars and just be like, Tilo, nudge, 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 ball straight out. As much as we would love to own pinballs at the Randomised gaming team, their size, unless we had a full-blown warehouse, is just not possible to actually do. Plus, they actually require an awful lot of upkeep and maintenance these days. Oh, start mode. Let's see if we can get one. Which ones? The modes do change. There's quite a lot of them, so it's just knowing which. There's the combo bonus. If I got it up there. That's right, the start mode I've actually got to hit that red rock. So I've got to try and basically put it straight up. Ah! Basically this rock, you look straight ahead of to the north, just below the pink flipper, but obscured by one is like a grey rock. You've got to hit the entrance in that to start the modes. So there's a skill shot bonus, which is nice. Let me get the start mode again. I can hit it here, come on. Yes, there we go. Which mode is that? England! Shoot ramps to win the tournament.
Man wins.
Oh, come on, I think I need one more. Come on. Oh, I did collect the grail. So each you have to like collect the game. I've not actually got to the final mini game. I've got to literally all bar like one lit in the past. That's one ball locked. I think I've got it's the Viking helmets for the multi-ball. We've got the lights there as well, which is a little bit tricky to see, but oh, codswallop. Is that my last ball? Was that my last ball? Please don't be my last ball. Yes, sir, Dreamcast Martin K. Yes, I would agree that I think this is by far the best of the pinball tables. This is definitely my favourite of all of them as well. Overall, this is actually a very solid pinball game on Saturn. It's one of the better ones. I think technically it may well be the best. I know you do get the Gladiator pinball ones, which are very good in pinball. So you get digital pinball, or known as Last Gladiator, and you get And thank you everyone for joining me on the stream as well. It's always nice to have your input and you watching us. So we can get that one up there. This is definitely the easiest to master. I do think of the shots overall probably the most fairest. Some of the others have an awful lot of cluttered shots and you can't always see where you're aiming. Oh, I can start a mode. Let's see if I can get it. Oh, just out. Straight up. Okay, there's one more for the 4 bonus. That's like the hidden wall. That's probably one of the hardest shots to make, that one. I should actually use the tactics. If you hold them up, you can pass the balls to the flippers. Or just the dead flipper bounce and things like that, where literally if you don't flip it, it'll hit it and bounce. Some of the official pinball tactics they often use. If you do like that, you can sometimes roll it between the two if it's going fast enough as well. I thought that was the 4 one. Oh yes, got the 4 multi-ball. So there's actually 2 multi-balls in this. I think the 4 one's the quick one, and I believe there was a 3-way multi-ball, the Viking one. Oh, I've got a jackpot as well.
Let's see how much you Vikings can drink.
Okay, let's see how drunk we can get. This one's quite funny, get mini game. So I've got to hit all the lanes. Okay, that's one down. We've got... Oh, that's 2 down. 3 down. Can I make it 4? Oh. Yes! Oh, nice. Oh! Okay, that was a good run. We got a super jackpot there. Now we managed to get our chap utterly drunk. And I think, yeah, that cleared Tretskia. Avoid the rocks. Yes. Oh, that's the digital mini screen game there. That was not a particularly good run, but so I've got 4 multi-ball. Okay, do you guys want me to swap table, or if you want me to stay at this one? I'm happy to. I might do one more run Vikings, and then if anyone's got any suggestions for which of the tables they'd like me to quickly revisit at the end, let me know. Else I can happily just play Vikings. This is by far the most fun. Will do then, Martin. So one more and I got the 3... Oh, we've got the jousting tournament again. Must be that left ramp is probably the one that's probably giving me the most grief to actually clear. I need to actually let the ball go down so I can actually... So you do clear the country even if you don't actually score the mini game. Actually, that was pretty awful. That one I didn't get the ramps, unlike the previous time. Oh, and there I get the ramp perfect. That's what annoys me. The times you don't need the ramp. Oh yes, multi-ball. So let's go for those flashing ramp jackpots. So this is the feast multi-ball. So as I said, oh, you do actually get a ball saver initially for the balls. So we also get 3 balls, unlike the... oh, we get 4. There we go, quite a few nice little jackpots. Oh, I've actually got quite a decent score this time around. And next, Conquering the Sea. Right, let's see if I can do better. Oh, got to stay still. So at least I got the fish from that mini game. That was not a particularly good run. See if we can get that up there. Oh, should have tilted that. Oh yes, I'm still on ball. That's only ball 2. Did I get an extra ball? I didn't see one mentioned.
What are we doing out here? I don't know.
Egad, my best run brought to an end. That was actually really quite a nice run. Oh, I'll give it one last shot. Right, let's see if I can improve my score on this one from the last run. Had 2 of the artifacts as well that last run. Oh, that's 1. Got the axe. Ah. So I got Feast Multi-Ball coming up. Ooh. Oh, some terrible ball control there by me. So basically, if you hit the ramps, you'll get a brief, like, secondary shot where if you hit this red one to the right, it will then light up the left blue one. And basically, that blue thing's like a score bonus that lights up, and you can continually hit that for like a score multiplier bonus. So I think the aim is to actually get to Valhalla, as I recall, which is on the right. I've not actually got there myself. I've come close. I've had literally the Valhalla lit and then failed to activate it, which is probably my most infuriating. Right. No, that's not how you play Feast Multi-Ball. And you're going to get the jackpot at least once. Which mode is this? Iceland again? It's running from the bear again. Okay, one final shot, seeing as this will take us up to the hour mark. So if you're a Saturn owner, is this worth picking up? Some you may be asking. And you know what, if you're a pinball fan, yes, it is certainly one of the better pinball games on the system. I think there's quite a good mix actually on the Saturn. Okay, they're not as good as the modern ones. Zen Pinball and Pinball Arcade do utterly outclass these, but as digital recreations they are actually good fun, and they were certainly the better ones of the era. Tilt's got the most tables on the Saturn. That's not bad. I don't think the physics is as good as this. Last Gladiator has some really good physics, and there's actually two versions of Last Gladiator. There's the original release, which we got released worldwide, and then there was a 97 update with a few sort of fixes to the gameplay. Last Gladiator has some great playing ball control. The tables are a little dull, I have to admit. Pinball Necrochronicon. That's actually very good, but that only has 3 tables. True Pinball's The Web is probably, again, very well playing, but you only get one game, you only get one pinball on that, so it's not really good value for money unless you can pick it up dirt cheap, because it's going to be a game you will get bored of relatively quickly, so you only got one of the Pro pinballs. Interestingly enough, the Web was the only one released on the Saturn. The other 4 tables from the Web series were released on the Dreamcast. Give it one last run. Pinball Graffiti is what I can describe as a pinball RPG. Truly baffling game in places. Really weird RPG sort of pinball concepts. Some quite okay pinball tables. It's quite a game to actually play because it's so maddening. You've got a video. We have got a video on the channel. I've got a video of all of them, including, and probably the last one that's worth mentioning is the Technosoft one, which is quite a nice little one, similar to sort of Devil Crush, quite good fun.
What are we doing out here? I don't know.
So this is sort of a mini multi-ball event mini game actually. So there's technically 4. Ah, typical, I couldn't get that ball on that other flipper. Apart from the 97 version of Digital Pinball Gladiator, we do actually have pretty much all the pinball videos of all the Sega Saturn pinball games on the channel. I actually meant to do a pinball roundup title video at some point that I haven't ever got round to doing, and I probably want to re-record the footage now we've got the open source scan converter. Ho hum. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, that is the... Oh, no, we got one last ball. I will be finishing after this ball for tonight's stream. I suspect we might be doing a sports game tomorrow, something sporting related, as we haven't done anything sports related just yet. I want to try and keep the randomizer, mixing it up. I'll probably do another Saturn game. Maybe I'll do the worldwide soccer that was the Japanese only release, which we only covered in one video. That might be interesting because I'm utter rubbish at sports games because I don't play them. So stay tuned for that one. And yes, talking and playing pinball, not my strong points. Right, I hope you enjoyed this Tuesday stream. I'll be back tomorrow for Wednesday's stream, so thank you for watching. I have been your host, Random Gamer Riven. This has been True Pinball on the Sega Saturn, and remember, like I said on the title screen, this is one of the few games where the Saturn has a transparency and the PlayStation doesn't. Just let me re-show that, seeing as... Actually, no, I don't think that was recorded when I initially, because I bungled my mic at the start. Basically, the menu screen, you will notice, had a 3D transparency for a bit of trivia. So this is a 3D transparency. So you know how in yesterday's stream, if you were watching it, we were doing Hot Blooded Family or Netseki Oyako. I know I mispronounced that. That's a PlayStation game where, when ported to Saturn, they didn't get the transparencies right. This is an example of the other way around, where the transparencies on PlayStation look absolute rubbish, but they're perfect on Sega Saturn. Case in point about the whole transparency argument was largely, I think, just developers not quite understanding the Saturn at the time, or just having to do it to keep the frame rate up. But there we go. Actually, you know, I'll quickly just show Vikings in... Just show you the difference in the 2D. Oh, don't want to reset that.
Welcome back.
So as I mentioned before, it does change the game quite the sort of classic pinball view. This is the classic Pinball Dreams view again. So it's interesting because technically you could argue you get 8 tables on this because you have the 2 different camera views. I'm pretty sure when I did a test, there's 60 frames a second in this mode. There are only 30 in the 3D mode. But it's definitely easier to make the shots in 3D mode because you can see everything. But it does change the playing dynamics somewhat, so I'll just quickly show you. I'm sure that ball was instantly faster in 2D.
Let's see how much you Vikings can drink.
I should just say, guys, if you are joining us, we are just about to end the stream, so thanks for watching. Again, if you do enjoy our content, please do hit the like button. As always, we do welcome your likes. And if you enjoy our content and want to keep following us, we will be doing weekday streams. You can always subscribe to the channel. I will keep this up while the current world situation, certainly here in the UK, carries on. But see, it does change the pinballs quite. It's definitely, I seem to recall it's definitely faster in this mode. Three-way combo. I think the out lanes are actually harder to hit in this top view as well. Again, the hieroglyphics actually on the lower, they're much more noticeable in this than you can barely see them in the 3 mode. Thank you for the likes, guys. It's always appreciated. Again, if you're new to our channel, please do subscribe. I will be finishing in a sec, so I'm just going to say I have been your host, Random Gamer Riven. Thank you for watching, everyone. We will be back tomorrow. And unfortunately, I won't be reaching the halls of Valhalla just yet. Oh well, at least I managed to last longer that time than any of the other ones. Not finding much treasure though. Again, those lights on the side there, you don't see that well in the 3D one. Again, you don't see the sleigh at all, so you just get the lights. One last ball and then we are done. I didn't get this game before. So yeah, this is actually the bumper game, which is actually one of the... You basically, if you, like here, if you lose out, you then have to get back into the bumper game, which is the hardest thing to do. Ooh, that one came down. It's really hard to actually get. Don't mind, like this very last run, probably going to be a fantastic go as I speak too soon. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, as I said before, I was wrapping up now. Thank you for watching. Good night. Have a good night. Have a good day. Have a good evening. Have a good morning, wherever you are in the world. I have been your host, Random Gamer Riven. Thank you for watching Randomised Gaming's daily stream.